Hello, everybody. Just wanted to come in tonight and talk with you about today's appointment to chronicle my journey. Today, I met with the plastic surgeon, and I did show you guys a picture of him, Dr. Higdon. I think I'm saying it right. First and foremost, you all were right, Alex and Stucky. So the chirping is because the smoke detectors are not getting enough power to them. Listen, I did call these people. Now I'm telling you what these people said. But anyway, I got my family. They gonna come take care of me here soon. We just got to get our schedules lined up for me and them to be able to get over here and see about it. So I don't know. We're trying to get that figured out right now. So I'm gonna get that noise turned off here soon, so it won't drive y'all crazy too much. But anyway, today was, I feel like, informative. He did explain all of his procedures and his plan. And it is a plan A and a plan B. And if he gets into the surgery and all else fails, he will have a plan C at the time of surgery. So plan A is what we're standing on at this time, and he kind of drew it out like I showed you guys the picture in a previous post. But because my breast size is already so large, and I'm trying to cut back, like he was like, you don't want a bigger size? I'm like, no. Who the heck wants a bigger size at 42? My God. If you would have asked me that at 20, 25, I'd have been like, yeah, bro, Dolly Parton this thing on out. But at 42, I don't need all that. So I asked him to look into, gosh, y'all, I keep having nosebleeds. When I tell y'all this is driving me nuts, I'm sorry. Hold tight. Hold that thought. Okay, sorry, back. I'm not really for sure what's causing the nosebleeds. And I even mentioned it today when I went in and got checked in. I mentioned it. I put it in my chart. And so I don't know. Nobody seemed to be surprised. So I don't really know what's causing it. Like, it's every day. It's every day. It's all day. So I don't know. I will see what's said tomorrow when I go in about my nosebleeds. Anyway, back to Dr. Higdon. He drew this thing out. So his ultimate plan is to try to minimize the amount of scars. So this first thing, let me see if I can explain it. So this first thing is how he wants it to look. So he wants to do the one scar with no other scar at the bottom. So this will be a bottom scar for it. So the T shape will be at the bottom so it's not as visible. And then he'll just cut the top off, and then he'll put the spacers in. In theory, now, because I'm not going to a bigger size, I plan to go to a smaller size. He says that there may be enough skin to pull the skin up over the breast and the rest of the skin down under the breast. That way it's kind of like a double padded, double coated deal. And that way it will hold the implant better, and it's smoother and more appealing, I guess you could say, looking. And so his plan for that is that. Plan B, if he has to get to plan B, it won't be to cover it with the double skin, pulling the skin from the top to the bottom and the bottom to the top. It'll just be stitching it together. So that'll just be the one layer of skin, if that works. And then if they get in there and there's more damage the cancer has caused, or the skin is too frail, or whatever elements that are there that will keep him from being able to use what's already there, then he will have to put the implant under the breast muscle, which apparently is going to make it more painful and take a little bit longer to heal. But that is plan C. And if all else fails, then we would just walk out of there with no implants, and we will come back to the drawing board at a later date when my body has healed and we have had everything sent off to labs, and we have gotten the results from the labs. Every bit of skin that they take off, they will biopsy, and so they will send that off for culture testing. So that's the plan in place. We got an A, B, and a C. So we got a plan in place. I've signed some forms today saying that he is at full discretion to do what's best for me while I'm asleep. And I felt like that's the best option. I mean, because he would know, right? Like, I don't know. I wouldn't know what to tell him even if I was awake. That's his job to do what he's in there to do. So if he gets in there and he decides whatever he decides, I'm going to be okay with that. So we did go back over the post-op things. So those things are still the same, that I won't be able to lift things. I have to go back every week, and let's just say he is able to do plan A, where he pulls the skin up and the skin down and he stitches that up and he makes that look all pretty. Of course, I won't have a nipple. They'll have to tattoo that on. Dr. Growl talked about a prosthetic, but I've heard other people say that they've had it tattooed on. We didn't get that far in the conversation today because I had a question regarding the length of time that the implants are good. And, I've been watching Botched lately, and I just have some concerns because it looks like on Botched, everybody's always having to go back and have something done. So now I'm just really weighing, is it worth me having the procedure done if I'm going to have to go back every 10 years and have these breasts redone? Hey, who's going to keep paying for this? Because I know the insurance company in a minute going to be like, no, ma'am. So I'm concerned about the financial aspect of it, because to me, in 10 years, I'll be 52. I'm not really going to be feeling doing a whole bunch to secure my breast at 52. And I mean, if I don't have a husband by now and I don't have one then, I really don't even care to have the breast, because, I mean, at 52, I really don't even care. But I'm just concerned that this is going to be a never-ending thing. So I have some concerns about the length of time, not only for the recovery, but what happens later. So his response to that was, everything that's man-made doesn't last forever. Anything that's man-made doesn't last forever. And, I said, you're right. It's true. And nothing that God makes lasts forever. And, that's true. I think I just had some concerns about how this all plays in the long run, because you can't think like you're 20 anymore. You got to start thinking about what happens later on in life. So that's where my head went. Anyway, so it's an every week thing. You'll go back. We'll go and have them inject my body with saline to stretch out the implants. And I think I wasn't real clear, but I think he said that my implants will be soft saline, soft silicone. I don't know. Don't quote me on that. I'm going to have to figure that part out. He said something about them being soft, and I was like, okay, so this is just saline. So he was like, yeah. I don't know if that's the long-term fix or not. I don't really know, but I don't know. I'll get back to you on that. He just reiterated everything that he put in this packet. How to take care of myself after surgery. And it is a 6-week uh, deal. 6 weeks, 8 to 10 weeks, 12 to 16, and then 16 weeks. So you have 16 weeks of something that you have to follow. So it's just a gradual thing into the recovery for you. So that was discussed in the meeting today. And he has planned on having the four drains, the 4 bulbs. So what you see on this, what you're seeing on this diagram, this little part right here, I'll have drains coming out of the bottom and the top of my breast. So there'll be a drain like up here and one at the bottom. And those drains will be removing the fluid from the incisions. And so I'll have to empty those out. And I'll do that for a while, 6 weeks. And I'll be on antibiotics the entire time. Yay. So that's that, and just some post-op care for it all. I didn't really have a lot of questions because I've already had a friend who's had breast implants done, and she and I kind of rapped a bit about it. Plus, my grandmother did have breast cancer. She didn't get the breast implants, but I remember her dealing with her post-op. So I kind of knew what that was all about. So that is that for today. If you guys have any suggestions for questions that I should be asking, please feel free to let me know, because I don't really know what to ask. I really am at this point. I'm just trusting God to put the right people in my path that can take care of me, because at this point, I'm too exhausted to even continue to wrestle with it. If that makes sense. Like, I don't have any more questions. I just want it to be over. I'm tired. I don't know what to ask. I don't know what to say. And it's like sometimes you don't even have the energy to pray for yourself. So like, I have totally sicked y'all on God, because I just, at this point, I can't pray for myself. I can't do anything else for myself. I'm just existing. I'm at a state of mind where I'm just living. I can't take on another thing in my life, because I'm just trying to make it through this. So if y'all have any questions, I'll be more than happy to write them down and send him an email so that we can get some better understanding. But as of now, I'm just willing to trust God. I'm just willing to just say, you know what, God, get this mess, because I just cannot do no more with this. I'm sick of it. So I'm done. I'm just, I think some of y'all know I'm tired of this. And yesterday I was not feeling my best. I gotten overly frustrated. And it has always been my goal to make sure that whatever I'm doing or whatever I'm dealing with, I am doing my best to represent whatever God has told me to do, and represent his greatness and show the world how wonderful God is. I'm just at a point where I don't have the energy for doing that anymore. Not anymore. I don't mean to say anymore. I mean to say, just like right now, I could use somebody to do some things for me. Like, pray for me. Like, do that for me, because I can't do it for myself. Like, I don't have any more in me. So I'm just there. That's just what I feel like. That's just where I'm at. I just know why I couldn't see. My glasses on my head. So when he was talking today, I just didn't have a lot to say. And, I waited on my aunt to say some things, and she just took it all in like I did. I didn't have anything else to say. I just didn't. Yesterday's issue, I don't know, a lot of you know that this Taxol gives you neuropathy, and they were hopeful that when I go through chemo, when I go through the Taxol treatments or chemo or infusion, whatever you call it, I am sitting in an ice bath that covers my hands and my feet. And the studies showed that the ice keeps the neuropathy at bay. And it had already gotten me. So when I went to the last 2 treatments, I opted not to do the ice bath because when I get out of there and I take my final drop of chemo, when I go to step and go to the bathroom, because I always got to go to the bathroom, it hurts to just walk. Like, it takes me a minute to even get my bearings to be able to walk. So I opted not to do the ice bath because it wasn't helping, and I still got the neuropathy anyway. Well, neuropathy just started off in like these 2 fingers, but it has spread into all my fingers and toes. And sometimes, like, the right foot is worse. When I step, like if I'm sitting in a chair and I stand up and I take a step, it feels like I've walked on a beach or climbed a rock wall with no shoes on and I've jumped down on a rock. So it hurts to step. And sometimes my hands hurt so bad, all I can do is squeeze them. So sometimes I'm just sitting there, and if people ever see me walking past, I'm doing this the entire time because I'm just trying to make the pain stop. And I feel really weird when people like hug me or squeeze me because everything in me is hurting. And it's not a 10 like labor pains. It's a very uncomfortable, sharp sticking. It's almost like the weird, crazy kid that's sitting in your classroom sticking you with that pencil all day. You know, that annoying person, right? So it's more like a 2 or a 3 consistently. But when it hurts, it's like a lightning strike. It shoots up to a 10 real quick, then it jumps back down to that constant sticking. And that becomes more than I can bear, more than I want to deal with, more than I choose to be okay with. So that was yesterday's issue. And then I had gotten emotional because I'm tired. I have done my best to put on the best game face that I have. And I felt like I wanted to give up. I was done with it. I was over it. And I'm not saying that like, you know what I'm saying, I want to kill myself. That's not what I'm saying. So don't run out of here talking stupid, talking about she said she was going to kill herself. I'm saying yesterday was a day that I was like, fuck it. Like, I understand why people get sick and they decide they don't want to take medicine. They just rather die than deal with the problem. Because some days the pain is more than enough. Some days you're here by yourself, and all the people that could text you in the world and tell you that they care, but really it's a lonely journey. This is a very lonely journey. I don't have a husband. Like, I don't know what it would be like to have a husband to come home and talk to cry to explain how you feel or why you hurt, or have a husband to squeeze your fingers and let you know, baby, I understand. But because those things are not in place, I feel lonely. I feel sad sometimes. She asked me today, was I depressed? Yes. It's a depressing thing. And I don't mean any harm. Like, I get life. I get it. I really do get it. It's a hard thing to have to deal with. It's more than a notion. It is. And then every day you got to wake up and you got to hope and pray. The cancer is not eating at something else. They just haven't caught it yet. And then they say to you, Don't let cancer paralyze you. That's exactly what cancer does. And I joined these support groups because they were saying, you need to be around like-minded people. You need to go around, you need to learn. Okay, so I joined this support group, but really the support group makes me sadder. Because not only am I in a support group with people that just fight breast cancer stage 1, I'm in a support group with people who are fighting multiple rounds of this cancer. And it's sad. You don't know how it feels for somebody to say, my mom died of breast cancer. My sister died of breast cancer. And like my coworker was talking tonight, and he didn't even realize, like, he was just being his normal funny self. Like, he was just cracking a joke. But he said, my dad was eating that stuff too, and he died of cancer. It's so hard to hear people say somebody died of breast cancer, and here you are with breast cancer. And they don't mean no harm. They don't mean any harm. They don't mean to slight you or to wound you. They're just generally speaking. But in the back of your mind, you got to constantly worry. The support group was supposed to keep you from worrying, but it causes more worry. Because sometimes I could be sitting still and I'll have these lightning strikes shoot through my chest. And I'll be thinking to myself, oh shit, it's on the move. And I don't have anybody here to hold my hand and say, it's okay, take a deep breath, breathe. So it gets hard. And you go to work every day and you go about your normal routine and you go to the grocery store and you try your best to put on your game face. And when I come home, I'm sad. I'm fighting for my life, and it's sad. It's scary. It's depressing. It's overwhelming. It's too much. It's too much. So I try to keep going. I try to stay positive. I try to remain focused on the goal, and the goal is to what? Survive. But the truth is, there's not a whole lot of answers. And I think that's the hard part for cancer patients. There's not a lot of answers. Like, we don't know where cancer really comes from. And me and my coworker were having a debate, a little talk today. And my thought process is, feel me out, if my cancer is hereditary, why didn't it surface at 3 years old, 5 years old, 9, 15, 20, right? So that means if my cancer is hereditary and it was lying dormant all this time, what was the trigger that made it come out this time? What was it? So I said to her, I liken it to, I got the gunpowder and something is the fuse. And when I interact with that fuse, it sets off my gunpowder. Well, what is that? Okay, they said it could be the birth control pills, right? They said it could be relaxer. It could be the food you eat. Now, can you just imagine with that in my mind, put that in your mind for yourself, wear the shoes for yourself, put that in your mind for yourself, and then go on to your next event in life. And think to yourself, how am I going to keep my gunpowder to myself and not let the fuse get me? So yeah, you live in a state of constant fear of what's going to be the thing that's going to set your gunpowder off. What's going to be the thing that causes round 3? And is round 3 the round when you die? Is that the round that gets you? Simple things like living your normal life, planning vacations, going on to the next thing in life. That's easy for you to do when you ain't got what I got on my plate. So I don't want to make plans. I don't want to be involved. I want to figure out how the fuck not to die. I don't necessarily need extra things on my plate because really every moment of my day, I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to survive. What's missing? What woke up that cancer? How can I stop it? Where's the cure? Why ain't there medicine for this? What's doing it to me? Why is my nose bleeding? I can't think past tomorrow. I just wish y'all could understand, like, how it feels, what it's like. And yes, Dr. Higdon offered so much optimism. It feels good to hear somebody say something positive because you need that, because really you beat yourself down in the head trying to rationalize how to survive. That feels good, but at the same point in time, when you go home, you put on your game face when you at work and you out in the streets and you smile and people see you and they hug you and they give you their point of view of how you are living your life and what you should be doing and blah, blah, blah. When you get through processing all that, when you come home and sit down in your bed and you by yourself, what comes back to your mind is you could be dying and they don't even know it. And they don't know how to stop it. And they don't know why. And they don't know where it came from. And nobody's really even testing to see if the cancer has spread. You're just living. You're just going day to day, hopeful that whatever God has for your life don't take you out. And I do tell God, whatever thy lot, it is well with my soul. I say that, and God, I'm really trying to mean that, but I got so much I really want to get done before that is the final call for my statement, for my life, for everything that I have going on. God, I really do want to live. I really do want to do stuff before you say no. Some days I wake up in the morning and I'm upset because I look funny. To me, everybody says, "Oh, good morning, beautiful." And I'll be thinking, bullshit. 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 I feel like crap. I can't get my walk right. Everything on me hurts. You ever done like 6,000 squats? I haven't, but I'm just liking that. That's kind of what my body feels like. My thighs. I ain't moved a muscle. But everything on me hurts. So not only do I feel like I'm stepping on rocks, My fingers feel like somebody's sticking them, and my tongue feels like I licked a razor blade. My thighs feel like I've done 6,000 squats. My back hurts. My head hurts. Like, so please understand, people. Some days this shit is more than I can deal with. Like, it's more than I can deal with. I don't know what else to say. I don't feel good some days, and I just want to lay in my bed, and I just want somebody to hold my hand and tell me I'm okay, you're going to survive. It could be a whole ass lie. Some days this journey is so lonely, it's miserable. I'm trying to clean my nose. Hold on, y'all. Anyway, so let's get back to the positive side of life, I guess. Let's remember our prayer targets. If y'all could remember to do that for me, I don't have it. I just ain't got it. And I will keep y'all posted. Tomorrow should be the last day of chemo. I'm so happy. It's a happy and a scary feeling, because if you stop the chemo and you don't have it all, then it can start growing again. So I don't really know how to celebrate tomorrow. Now, tomorrow's the last day of chemo, but they won't take the port out until surgery. If they send the tissue out over to the lab and it shows any type of cancer still there, they will leave the port in, and we will continue on with some form of treatment. And we might have to move on over to radiation. And the fear of the radiation is that it could cause leukemia. That's a whole different problem. So, oh, my phone is flashing. It's telling me I'm out of time. 33 minutes is all you get for recording. I'm at the end.